Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. It's raining.
Yeah, you might be able to hear it. Hopefully not.
We just had a huge, I was going to say bolt of thunder, but it's bolt of lightning and the kind of like clap of thunder. And our dog, Gus, I don't know if he was afraid of it, but...
He was wondering what it was.
Yes. So now you're sat next to him.
Yep. Protecting.
Well, he lies there and...
With one ear up in the air.
Makes funny noises with his mouth.
Which you also might be able to hear.
So...
What a setup for a pod.
Yes. Oh well. So this is episode number 2 of the...
2 of 2.
Of the season, the second season.
Yeah.
Of the revival.
The revival.
Coast What Rambles, the podcast, the series, the musical.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I don't know how many people listened to the first one or whether people enjoyed it. But, you know, if you do like our podcast, you have to make sure to give us a rating. A 5-star rating. And if you're going to give us a 5-star rating for this episode specifically...
Can you?
No. I mean, just because
after listening to, I see.
What comment would you like people to write?
Oh, like we used to do. What about a bolt of thunder?
Oh, that's boring. My thing was going to be my favourite part was the cheese.
What?
Like, my favourite part about the episode was about the cheese. It's
when
completely
did we talk
unrelated.
About the cheese?
No, it's completely unrelated.
I thought
That's
you
the
meant...
whole point of
okay.
it. It's the whole point of it.
Oh dear, okay. Brilliant. My favourite part was the cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. Let's crack on then.
Yes, so first things first is, well, on the main channel I put out an update finally that I've been meaning to do for like 400 years. And that video included Gus, the very first one that he is in.
His cameo.
So if you want to see what Gus looks like, then watch that.
Yeah. And also what the update is as well.
Yeah, I mean, the update mainly just goes over a few things. First is Vote Coasters, and by the time this goes out, there is 5 days left to take part in Vote Coasters, our annual roller coaster poll. So far, over 1,900 people have ranked over 95,000 roller coasters combined. But there's way more that could be ranked still. So if you haven't taken part in Vote Coasters, it's very easy. You make an account, you search for the roller coasters you've ridden, and you rank them from best to worst. That's pretty much it. You can rank as many or as little as you want. Very easy, very simple. Only takes a few minutes to take part. So yeah, if you want to take part in it, the more people that do, the better the results will be, because there'll be more comparisons to make. So Vote Coasters, you can go to coasterbot.com/Vote Coasters to learn more about Vote Coasters generally, or to actually vote, you go to votecoasters.com. Very simple. Update number 2 is that Dispatch is dead. Won't prefix or explain why that is. Update number 3 was that Coasterbot Rambles is back.
Woo-woo.
As we know. What?
Coasterbot 4 was
Coasterbot
that?
4. Update number 4 was the main plan is to get a video out on the main channel, like a main video every month, which I haven't been doing as of recently, so that's good. Update number 5 was Gus, and update number 6 was the fact that we're going to Orlando.
Whoa.
So let's start off with a bit about that then. To bide our time.
To what?
Bide our time.
What does that mean?
Well, to like extend the length of this episode is what I mean.
We're going to the Disney and the Orlando.
So how much about this trip do you where else are we going?
We're going, let me guess. We're going to Universal. No, we're going to Universal.
Can you name the 2 Universal theme parks?
Universal
One of them
Orlando.
One of them is really stupid.
Universal.
What's the full name of Universal? It's not Universal, it's...
I will know it as soon as you tell me it, but I just can't think of it. That's so hilarious. Hang on. No, I literally don't know.
What do they kind of film in?
Studios. Universal Studios.
Universal Studios. So the first one is called Universal Studios
Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
What's Orlando then? The state?
Yes.
Wow.
No, the state's Florida.
Okay.
The city is Orlando.
Okay, so it would make more sense if it was called Orlando. But
well, but then you regionalise too much, don't you?
Okay, anyway.
So that's the first one. The second one is...
something like Islands of Adventure.
Yes, it's Universal's Islands of Adventure, not Universal Studios.
I sound so dumb. And then we are going to SeaWorld, Orlando.
Yes, SeaWorld Orlando this time. Actually.
Yeah, that makes
right.
sense. Yeah, why don't they all do the same place name?
Because they're all owned by different companies.
Yeah, but just coordinate.
SeaWorld is more of a regional park then compared to Universal, which is more of a destination park.
Okay. Busch Gardens.
Can you remember
Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay,
Hey,
yes.
Tampa Bay.
In Tampa.
In Tampa
That's the city.
Bay. There's another one.
No.
That's it.
And then the Disney park.
The Disney parks.
Which are called?
Okay. Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
Animal Kingdom.
Can you do it in the order that they opened?
No. Absolutely
Why not?
I can guess.
Actually. Which one's the newest?
Is it...
Yeah.
Is it Magic Kingdom,
of course.
Studios or Epcot?
Go with what you think while I just quickly make sure that I know.
I think Studios and then Epcot.
Right, you're missing a park.
I'm missing a park.
There's 4 theme parks at Walt Disney World. So.
Yeah. But I'm saying the next 2 is Studios, then Epcot.
And then the last one.
Then Animal Kingdom.
Right. So... Okay, so it is the order that I thought. You said Magic Kingdom, Studios, Epcot, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
It is Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Studios, Animal Kingdom.
Okay. Anyway.
Jeez, they open... Epcot and Studios opened really close.
That's what I thought.
7 years.
Yeah. Well, because Epcot was late, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
so
Disney's Hollywood Studios only opened because Universal opened.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, so we're going there. How many parks was that?
8.
8 parks.
Yes.
Woo!
What are you most looking forward to? We're only talking about this because obviously, you know, the next 4,000 episodes of this podcast are going to be heavily influenced by our trip.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I can choose a thing.
Well, you don't choose one.
Okay. Eating food in Epcot.
Yep.
Just getting on the plane.
Well, that's boring.
Isn't that going to be exciting?
Yeah.
Being like, we're going to Disney.
You're not going to Disney because you want to get on a plane.
But that's very exciting.
I agree. It'll be an exciting part of the trip, which will quickly be nullified by the time you actually get to the theme park and go, oh, this flight there wasn't actually that exciting compared
it's
to
going to be good.
Looking down the main street of Magic Kingdom.
That's another one.
Right.
But I feel like I like the Paris one better, so yeah.
I think Disneyland Paris' main theme park is going to be definitely more beautiful than the majority, if not all, bar Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, my other one is just generally Animal Kingdom.
Why? What about it?
I think it's going to be my favourite park out of all of them because just like the theming of it all. And you know how like Magic Kingdom, you've kind of already done that kind of thing? Yeah. Because we've been to Paris, we've kind of done a similar one. Whereas this is like completely different. Also, Star Wars Land is going to be cool. Whatever that's called.
Yep.
Hope we see the little... Is the
Galaxy's
little...
No, it's only at Disneyland at the moment.
Oh.
So...
That's sad. What's his name? Grogu. Yeah, I wanted to see him, but oh well. Yeah. Universal, I'm not so excited for. I'm not a Harry Potter person. You more so than me.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's going to be really cool, but it's not like, you know, when you think, oh my god, I love this theme. I prefer Star Wars to that. As in, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, it's Hogwarts. Yeah.
Well, I think the main difference is that the Star Wars area is not. I mean, I was going to say it's not canon, but it technically is. But what I'm trying to say is it's not built as a resemblance to any actual known Star Wars location.
Yeah.
Whereas the places in Harry Potter, unsurprisingly, from Harry Potter, which is almost like it's a smart thing to do because people want to go.
Sorry.
Well,
What did you just say?
Don't you think? Wouldn't it have been much cooler to go to somewhere that is in one of the Star Wars films? That's not true.
No, because... And also, I think it's very Star Wars to have done that. Because there's so many worlds in Star Wars land that we don't get to see.
I agree there's so many worlds in Star Wars, but, like...
What are you doing for Harry Potter? Like, that's it, isn't it?
Well, of course it is.
So, you know... That's the centre. That's the centre of the story. Whereas this one's like across the galaxy, and everyone we go to different places.
Yeah, there's only like 4 planets they actually go to.
No.
Like Tatooine and what the other ones are.
I don't know. I can't
Jeddah.
remember.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
so you're not less excited about Universal, but I guess you are a bit less excited about Universal.
I am. In a way, I know a lot of the Disney stuff already.
You just don't know what to expect from Universal.
It's quite exciting in the fact that I don't know what it's going to be like.
And that's the same for me. I've been to Disney World before. I know generally quite a lot about the Disney theme parks. Not a huge amount, relative, but enough. Whereas the Universal theme parks I've never really dived deep into because I haven't had a need to. And I've not been before. So even a lot of the rides for me will be...
No.
Well,
they just don't let you film, so you literally have no idea. I could not tell you what the Mummy is.
Right.
I don't know anything.
What, like for the type of ride?
No, I literally don't know.
Wow.
The only one I know is the one that's like outside the Hulk one.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it.
Well, that's obviously a roller coaster, isn't it?
Yeah. But, I don't know.
And you know Velocicoaster?
Yeah, because it's outside.
Because it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know Hagrid Bike?
I know a bit more about Hagrid.
Because it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, but I'm talking about I don't know what it's like. Whereas on Disney, I've seen the vlogs where they show you POVs, so I know it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Even like indoor ones.
Yeah, I know. Well, like, you can't really see much in an indoor one, can you?
No, like on Spaceship Earth.
Oh, right.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. But Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, I couldn't tell you anything about them. Is there a penguin one at SeaWorld? Wasn't that new?
Okay.
What was the new one they did? Icebreaker or something?
Icebreaker, yeah. It's a quadruple launch coaster.
Okay.
Apparently it's not... Well, apparently it's got the worst trains ever.
Okay.
So that's good. But that will be where you get to ride your first ever B&M hypercoaster.
Oh, God. At SeaWorld?
Yeah. I think you'll love them. I don't know. I think you'll love them.
Okay.
It is a bona fide Zoe attraction.
Is it?
I reckon. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it will be exciting enough, but not too exciting, but then not boring, if that makes sense. You know.
Have we got airtime?
Yeah.
Have we got...
The whole ride is airtime.
Have we got pacing?
Well, basically the whole ride is you go down a big drop, you go over a big airtime hill, and then you keep replicating that layout.
Goliath ride.
Yeah, imagine Goliath. Take all the airtime hills.
Yeah.
They're not as strong, but they last for longer, and the whole ride is practically that.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, we're going. It's finally happening. How do you feel?
Well, I mean...
Are you, like, scared because you don't think it's going to be that good compared to how you've hyped it up?
Not really. Well, for some bits, definitely. I think it's good that I don't know a lot about Universal because that's always going to now be a fallback of, like, if I'm disappointed with some Disney stuff.
It might surprise you at Universal.
Well, it should. I'm only going to be surprised, aren't I? Because I don't know.
But what if it's all awful?
I mean, I'd be very surprised if it was awful.
Okay, that would be a surprise, though.
It would be a surprise. Exactly. Wow, this is terrible.
What a surprise.
Yeah. But there's loads of stuff at Universal that's like smaller scale dark rides that I literally know zero about. So it'd be really, just like we had when we went to the Efteling and when I like Droomvlucht and Symbolica, where I had never seen anything inside either of them.
Yeah.
And you just witness it for the first time. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And it'll be everything at Universal, bar the roller coasters, will be like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be really neat. Same with a few things at Disney, like Flight of Passage. I've not seen. I've seen a few clips from Rise of the Resistance, but not the whole thing. I know more about how it works as well, which is a shame, because that's quite an interesting point of it. But yeah, I mean, I one, it doesn't really feel that like it's happening yet.
Yeah.
But then as we get closer and I organise more of it, then it does feel like it's happening. I mean, but when we, as you said, when we get on the plane, that'll be the real thing.
We need to book our meals soon.
What are we meals?
Our Disney dining.
Oh, right. I was going to say, I think I meant a plane meal.
Disney dining. Maybe we do have to book our plane meals.
They just give you one. I don't know.
No,
how it works.
come on.
How does it? I don't know how.
I don't know. I thought sometimes you get to choose. Maybe it's not posh enough.
Yeah, well, maybe they've just got like, oh, you're vegetarian.
What option do you want? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we do need to put that. Yeah, there's a few things to round off, but it's happening the end of January, so just less than 2.5 months, which it seems like a long time, but
it's going to go so fast.
It's going to be Christmas very quickly, and when it hits Christmas Day, it's practically just over a month.
Ooh,
so
that's weird.
Yeah, by the time we've finished fapping with Christmas, it will literally be 3 weeks, maybe less. Until we go, and then we get there for 2 weeks. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. What?
It is, it's a bit.
Of course it is. I feel like you're going to just like freeze when we get there. I don't know.
I'm not ready.
Yeah. No.
Walking wise, I'm not ready.
Oh, right. That's something I'm going to need to... I don't know. I've the last few times I've been to Alton Towers, I've been doing like 25k, and it's not actually been too bad.
Harry, 2 weeks.
Yeah, but... Yeah, I appreciate that, but not all of the parks are as big as Alton Towers.
Yeah, but you don't let me sit down.
No, well, they're long days, so you have to sit down.
Okay, I've got that in recorded audio form.
When you compare theme parks, Alton Towers is huge. Epcot's going to be big, right?
No, but it's the standing. Walking's almost better than standing in a queue.
Oh no, it is. I agree. But you got to remember, like most of these rides, I say this now, and so high capacity that the queue is usually always moving forwards to some degree at least. So we'll see. But yeah, you can't give us any other highlight, like anything else that you're very looking much forward to. You didn't say any rides or anything. Just said Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. I don't know that I'm like excited for specific rides though.
Right. Just
it's more like vibe. It's more like when we went to Efteling where there's like loads of stuff we've not been on and it's a cool environment. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like, oh my god, I really want to get on Velocicoaster. Like they're all kind of equal in a way.
One I forgot was Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
Very, very much looking forward to going back on that.
But isn't it Guardians now?
No, that's at Disneyland.
Oh, right, okay. That's right then.
I'd prefer to go on the Guardians one. No, not really. I'd quite like to go on the Guardians one.
Yeah, both. Well, what's your rides then?
Tower of Terror. So, we'll go part by part. Really.
Oh my god!
Studios, Tower of Terror, at Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
There's also Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I can't keep adding all the rides. You got to pick the top
I don't know. It's just 2. We'll just try and get to 2. So those 2.
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom. Mm-hmm. It's Flight of Passage.
Yep.
And Expedition Everest.
Yeah.
It's the big roller coaster in the mountain.
I know.
Then Epcot.
Yes.
It's Test Track.
And Frozen.
No. And Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Rewind.
Oh,
Cosmic Rewind, even.
I forgot that's
the only 2 good attractions at the park.
Frozen.
There's also Ratatouille, but that's not very good. Well, you know. Magic Kingdom. If Splash Mountain is alive, I will very much be looking forward to going on that. Even though it is racist, I appreciate that.
It needs to change.
And it does need to change. I have very little memory of it when I went last time, which I find to be a shame. So I want to see it again before it dies, you know.
Yeah.
Another one
I wouldn't say die, I would say improves because...
Yeah.
Come on.
Reskinned.
Yeah.
Another one I'm also cautiously optimistic for is that Tron opens early.
No, stop.
And I say that because I think it's scheduled to open the 1st of March, and we are there until something like the 10th of Feb. But previous rides at let's take the Rat Ride at Epcot. Rat Ride at Epcot was scheduled to open 1st of October, opened like 20th of August.
Yeah, but you know, now you said this, it's not going to happen.
I know, of course. So I really, really hope it opens, just as we get there. Or we're there for 2 weeks, right? So even if it opens up partway through, we should be able to catch it. That would be. It's going to be a real shame if it doesn't open. It's probably not that great anyway. So I don't. It's just a shame.
Big Thunder.
Big Thunder. Yes. What else have they even got there?
That's it.
Space Mountain.
No.
Yeah, Big Thunder's pretty cool. So that's that one.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Disney. Universal.
Brilliant.
This is harder because Islands of Adventure, I'm looking forward to like 4,000 things. Velocicoaster, Hagrid Bike, Spider-Man, Forbidden Journey.
Okay.
There might be some more in there, but I can't remember. The main Studios Park, Gringotts. I'm trying to think what's there. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket will be cool, and I'd like to see what Transformers is all about. Oh, sorry, Mummy. Gringotts and Mummy.
Okay.
Those are the two there. Then we move over to Busch Gardens Tampa, which is Iron Gwazi and Cheetah Hunt for me.
Okay.
Do you know what Cheetah Hunt is?
Nope.
It's a triple launched Intamin, almost like a family thrill roller coaster.
Sounds lovely.
It should be really nice. And then finally at SeaWorld Orlando, looking forward to Manta, is a B&M flying coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Mako, which is a B&M hyper coaster.
Lovely.
So there you go. There's 2 at every single park we're going to.
2 or more at every single park.
Mainly 2.
Mm-hmm. How many podcast episodes are we going to need to cover all of your opinions?
Wow, this is it. 4 billion.
It's not funny.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about
the past.
Yes, a theme park we've been to recently.
Theme parks of Christmas past.
What?
You know the Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
It's like the Ghosts of Christmas Past. Theme parks of Christmas
You
past.
didn't need to keep Christmas in it though, did you?
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense then, would it?
It doesn't make sense anyway.
Yeah, well.
So what park are we talking about today, Zoe?
Which one are we talking about?
You tell me. Which one are we talking about? You said it earlier.
I said both of them earlier.
No, you didn't. You said let's talk about...
Plopsa.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is, the full name is...
Polpsaland De Panne.
Yeah. Cool. Which means...
Fluent.
I don't know.
Did we look it up?
Well, De Panne is the name of the place.
Isn't Plopsa like a silly word?
I
can't remember.
So. I don't know. I assume that's their brand, and then it's, like saying...
Of the place, yeah.
Something of De Panne.
De Panne.
Anyway, so that's a small theme park. Not small, but, small theme park in Belgium.
Yep.
Which, when we went to the Netherlands on our trip, it was the final park that we went to, because it's pretty much 40 minutes away from Calais. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to get the channel, or Eurostar, or I guess a ferry. Ferries come into there, don't they? Or like
you probably get a closer ferry than the Eurostar.
Dunkirk will get you closer. It's very easy to access. So other people in the past have done like day trips where they leave in the morning, drive over there, go to the park, drive back, get the train or the ferry.
I just think that's hilarious.
Well, it's cool.
Yeah.
For if you live in London,
easy.
It's probably easier to get there than it is to go to Blackpool.
Yeah, literally.
Which is crazy. So, yes, but it was the very last day of our trip. Mm-hmm. Very last theme park of our trip. Talk us through... You obviously knew zero about this theme park.
Yeah, even Ride to Hapiness.
I knew, very little. I knew the ride, the main roller coasters, and that's it. I barely knew anything else about it. Mm. What were you thinking after we'd been in it for a little while?
It was more than I expected.
In what way?
More good rides, and also just more theming and atmosphere. Because, you were saying it's not the best park or whatever, it's just a normal park. So I was expecting, I don't know why, but I was expecting a bit less than that. But every area we went in was quite quite themed nicely as well, like not too tacky. And then they just had like a bunch of good rides. Like we obviously went there for Ride to Happiness, but they had what's the wooden one called? Heidi. That was really good. Loved that. What else did they have? They had that water ride that was quite unusual. The water coaster.
Super Splash.
Yeah.
It was not very good.
No, but it's unusual.
Unusual is the best way to describe it. It's novel to
us.
Well, not really. I've been on one of them before.
Well, yeah, but like you don't get them in the UK is what I mean.
Wow. Yeah.
They had a really hilarious kid ride that was themed to like a high school TV show.
Yes.
Incredible.
Like me.
Hashtag like me.
Like me coaster.
What else? I feel like they had another big one.
Well, the other big one is Anubis, which was closed.
Right, yeah.
But
that whole area was really cool. For painting.
Well, it was.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so like you're in a decent park and you're thinking, this is nice. And then you go to the Ride to the Happiness bit.
Ride to the Happiness.
Ride to the Happiness. And it was lovely, wasn't it?
Yes, it was lovely.
But it was like serene almost.
It's a bit of a juxtaposition, really, between the actual roller coaster itself and its theme.
It's like a dream.
I was talking to someone about this, and we were talking about build-ups to roller coasters, and Ride to Happiness is like very happy and calm before,
it is.
which is not a build-up.
No,
that roller coaster really needs. I think it does it a detriment almost that it's so calm, because there's nothing to kind of pump you up and get you ready for this.
Yeah, but then is it like
experience?
No, but is it like that where you're expecting to be like, oh, we're just doing a bit of a spin, and we're spinning,
Maybe.
And then it just goes mental, complete opposite of what you just had. Is that the point? I don't know.
I think the point is meant to look nice.
Yeah.
And I don't think it really goes any deeper than that.
Okay.
It's just meant to that theme is quite serene and calm.
Yeah.
Just generally. But yeah, I feel like it just does not really fit with the...
But and as well, like it's quite, when we were there, we said it's like very like Galactica vibes in terms of the woman's face, and she's like saying stuff to you on the station. But I feel like Galactica's got more of a build up slightly, in that it's like you're going on a mission and like, oh my god, we're gonna go through space. It's not very, the actual things aren't stressful, but the storyline is. Whereas this one's like, you're gonna be happy.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
And then, okay, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
sure.
Yeah, and then you're not, because you're like think you're gonna die.
Right.
Anyway.
Sure. While we're on the side, we won't get into Ride to Happiness quite yet. While we're on the side of looks, yeah, I definitely agree with what you were saying. I think maybe what you perhaps don't often realise is that a lot of this isn't a family-run theme park, no, but a lot of like smaller European family-run theme parks are quite nice and well themed, more so than you might expect based on what we see here in the UK. Imagine like if every small family theme park in Europe was the same as Portland's Park.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing, and that's what it is like. They might not all start out like that. Like take Toverland, which started out just dropping some rides in and then started to theme them up over time, and that's kind of what Hansa Park have been doing. But they all kind of tend towards this, at least some theming and some kind of decoration, and they try.
Yeah.
Essentially.
What an alien concept to us Brits.
Oh, I know. And Polpsaland definitely felt like that. A lot of it was very childish. Of course it was, though. Yeah, because it's a family theme park, mainly for children, and you can very much tell for most of the areas. You can tell which areas are newer and which ones are kind of, not meant for children.
Or, like, have been rethemed and it just looks very obvious that it used to be something else. Like the ride in the middle with the girly ride with the like with the big table, the massive table.
Oh,
that area Wasn't that the bit that you could tell it used to be something else or something like that?
Well, it was a big washing machine, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it.
That you went through.
And then there was a speaker now.
It's a speaker, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that part is a bit like...
Bit random, really,
compared to some of the other parts. But there's quite a few areas that are pretty self-contained and pretty neat.
The Viking bit was cool.
Yes, that was all closed. But yes, that was very cool. The bit where Heidi the Ride is, that kind of Bavarian, that's what I was trying to say, area. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
The log flume is a bit of a weird...
Oh, yeah. But that was incredible, wasn't it?
Cool. Yeah, it's very cool.
That was a cool log flume.
And obviously Ride to Hapiness is a very well done part as well. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there in terms of the way it's visually set out. But we started riding all of the kiddie coasters first, right? We didn't
Very
do the classic maneuver of, let's go to the best roller coaster first, because we knew that a lot of the kiddie coasters are very low capacity.
Yeah.
So if you knock them out first, you don't have to stand in a
awkward
20-minute queue
with children.
Which we then saw later, the whole queue line for #LikeMe was full, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which would have been hellish. So yeah, we first went on the powered coaster.
Oh, the dragon one.
The dragon powered coaster.
Hilarious.
Not very good.
No.
It's fine. We were the only people on that.
Yeah.
Then we went on roller skater, the one with the speaker that you go through. We were the only people on that.
Yeah.
Then we went on #LikeMe coaster. We were the only people on that.
Woo!
So all of the kiddie coasters that we got on, we were literally the only people on. Ideal, really. And once you bang those out, obviously we didn't have to go on them again. Perfect. Yep. Then it was on to Heidi the Ridey.
Heidi the Ridey, yeah.
What do you think about Heidi the Ridey? You said you enjoyed it, but...
Yeah. It's like a ride type that I really like. I wouldn't say it's the best one, but I don't know. I just didn't expect it to be like that good. I don't know. I just thought it'd be like, okay. But it was actually like, that was quite good.
You've done 3 GCIs now.
Have I?
So Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess 4 technically. Either side of Joris. And now Heidi the Ridey.
Yeah, Heidi's more family, but I think obviously that's the best choice for them in that park.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's a pretty compact layout, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're assuming that's the best choice for them, but if they're going to build Ride to Hapiness, then maybe it's not. Yeah, it was like quite small, and I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. I think when you ride any roller coaster that is built by GCR, you expect it to have some sort of level of chaos. Yeah. And that doesn't. No. And it's a detriment to it, I feel. But you are very much right, because it is obviously a very family-orientated ride. So it makes 100% sense that chaos is not there. Yeah. You know, which is interesting, because, you know, you think of Wicker Man, which is, trying to hit the same family. It's more family thrill, but the same thing. And Wicker Man is so much more than Heidi the Ride. No, because I think Alton Towers is more for like 12-year-olds. Well, yeah. Whereas, exactly. Oh no, definitely. Plops is more like 6 to 10. Yeah, I agree. They're definitely hitting a lower age range. Yeah. You can tell like 13 and Wicker Man, the 2 roller coaster Alton Towers that are meant for younger riders, are family thrill coasters. They're not family coasters. I think Wicker Man is a bridge between those and Smiler kind of thing. Yeah, no, definitely. Whereas this Heidi one is more like anybody can go on this. Yeah. But I think you're right. It was missing like the element of surprise almost. It was missing the punch. Yeah. Like every time it felt like it was going to get good, it stopped. Yeah. But it was still very fun. But it was enjoyable. Very re-rideable. Yeah. Very smooth, like stupidly smooth. Yeah. It's a really neat layout. They had like 0 queue the entire time. I think we rode it like 3 times or something like that. But yeah, it was a really good addition. It's nice to have a wooden coaster, and especially one that's so comfortable. Yeah. At a theme park. So yeah, that was good. Then did we then go on the water roller coaster? No. I don't know why you're asking me. I don't remember what happened. What? What did we go on? What do you think we went on? Ride to Hapiness. Yeah, of course. Okay. Cool. Go on then. Off you go. Well, I was gonna let you go. So, as you said before, the area is is very nice, very neat, very well looked after, very pretty. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's what they're going for. We got in the queue. I think we had like a 10-minute queue or something like that. It wasn't too bad. What did you think? Describe getting on this ride to us. Do you remember?
Getting on?
Yeah, the process.
The seat was lovely.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, describe the station,
Okay, the station.
And then getting on and the initial...
Okay, classic station where you go up some stairs at some point. You've got like things in the queue that you can look at, like what was that funny projector thing? Yeah, that was cool.
The spinny projector, like a propeller that spins around and has LEDs on it to project an image.
Had one of them. Had some other stuff to look at. It was all right, average station, I'd say. The queue, I mean. Then the station is like on a level. I'm so bad explaining. With the lady talking to you. Her face is up there. I mean, there wasn't much else going on, was there, in the station?
There's a few cogs going around. There was a bit at the very front of the station, a bit at the back. The middle was a bit...
It was fine.
Like concrete? I mean, it's like a wooden shed.
Yeah,
a wooden shed.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but I wouldn't say it was...
No.
Fantastic.
Fine.
You're greeted by, I don't know how many, 8 air gates? I can't remember. Did we go straight to the back? I think we went straight to the back.
Yeah, we did. Because we want to die.
Yes. Well, you don't know that. We get on, and then what is it like? The trains. How does it work? Can you remember?
Oh, the actual mechanism of the ride.
No, the restraints. Because it's not like a normal roller coaster, is it? If you remember. Do you remember?
No, genuinely don't.
What? You genuinely don't remember how it worked?
No. I actually don't.
So you think you just got on and pulled the restraint down and then we went off?
Well, now you're saying that. Obviously, I didn't do that.
That didn't happen. No. So
did the restraint come down on its own?
Yes.
Oh.
So you sit in.
I've just blocked this out.
Then they press a button. The restraint comes down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of like comes into place. Then they press another button, which locks it into place. And what it actually does is it kind of locks a bit tighter than you would like it to.
Well, probably not in my case.
Initially, and then loosens it slightly.
Okay.
And then locks it in place fully, so it can't move.
Okay.
With normal restraints of that type, hydraulic, as you go around the ride, as you go around the ride, they get tighter.
Ah.
These ones don't get tighter. Okay. So the initial tightness is getting it as nice as like...
The perfect place.
The perfect place, and then they loosen off a bit. Okay. So not really the perfect, just above the perfect place in terms of too tight. Then they loosen off and lock in the perfect place.
Okay, this is very boring, but yeah. So
well,
it's locked in place. I'm saying that
because it's locked in place, which means if you go through very intense elements, you don't have the restraint coming down and pinning you down.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant news.
Which was brilliant news, exactly.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah. Anyway,
I completely forgot that was a thing.
Terrible.
I didn't ride it as many times as you, though.
No, I know. So that happens, and then...
Yeah, and then it begins.
So talk us through the very first thing that happens on it.
Right by the plaza area of the ride area.
Plaza area of the roller coasters area.
Yes. You go past. Do you spin? Do you corkscrew?
What is going on with you?
I can't remember this place. I can't remember. You go past because I remember filming it, but I don't know what the ride does. Does it just go?
Really
does it go?
bad.
Does it turn? It's a corkscrew, right? No. Okay.
It's not a corkscrew, but you do go upside down.
Okay, so you go upside down and then you come back up.
Do you not remember that? Like hanging upside down?
Yeah, but there's many ways you could hang upside down, right?
I guess. It's quite slow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very slow.
Yeah.
It's very... Yeah.
It's called a JoJo roll. I think it's a stupid name because it's actually just a heartline roll placed after the station. So I don't know why. But yeah, anyway, a nice heartline roll. And if you're in the front especially, you crawl out of the station and just hang there.
I don't like hanging, personally. See, there's your suspense, right?
I guess.
That's what they're doing.
Maybe. Yeah, but I mean...
But we've started already, so...
Yeah, exactly. We've started already. You need to get me going before.
Okay.
You need the initial suspense, then you need on the roller coaster itself the suspense.
Yeah.
That double suspense.
Double whammy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're on the front, you really do just hang down. It takes a few seconds for the whole thing to kind of navigate the inversion, but I think hanging upside down in moderation is good.
In moderation?
Well, that was the only point of the ride where I'd really say that happens.
Yeah.
So
yeah, not like Colossus where you're just constantly upside down.
And therefore it's moderation.
Yeah.
It's one big chunk of it.
But it stresses me out personally. I don't like it as an introduction.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, but I just don't like it. Smiler can get away with it because it's very brief. It's like turn, bam. This one was like, you can feel the blood rush in your head. Okay, we're done. It's quite long.
I just loved hanging there by my legs.
No.
You know, but especially when your restraint isn't as tight as it could be.
That's so
you're
bad.
Just like literally just vibing.
No.
I feel like you probably slip out, which is really bad. Don't do that, kids.
No, don't. Because they'll shut the ride.
Yeah, they will shut the ride, exactly. Very not good. Yeah. Anyway. Interesting start. Great spectator element.
Yeah.
Because everyone just stands there
watching
and
it.
Points and goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
You know, as you go down and start to spin.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this whole ride spins, right?
Yeah, it spins.
Spins.
Yeah, crushes coaster style.
Crushes coaster style. So you do your inversion, then you hit
the launch pad.
Sure, launch pad. Wasn't expecting the pad part. The launch.
Okay, the launch area of the ride area.
Sure, yeah. So you come to a stop, and I think the most interesting. Well, first of all, I think the launch was more
brilliant
than I expected it to be.
I love that. I wish it would just do that and then end. Don't even want to get to the top.
Boring.
We're good.
Wow.
Minus the heartline roll.
You just wanted
the launch.
Accelerate and then decelerate straight away.
Yeah.
Wow. Definitely more oomph than I thought it would.
Yeah.
You know, I think I expected like Icon, and then
no.
There was a kick.
Yeah.
And off you were going.
Yes.
And then the more exciting part is that the whole ride is technically dampened by a magnetic disc that's on each train, right? And the park can move a magnet further into the disc to make the ride spin less, and move it out to make it spin more.
And do they change it? No.
So the first one is the first one of that kind in America, they dampened it.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to say the first train, like the first.
No. The first one that they dampened it, and it runs dampened. This one, I think they had it dampened, then was like, oh, let's try it without, and it runs without.
Okay.
So it's completely undampened.
Yeah. And
it just is what it is, as far as I'm aware. But what they have on the launch is magnets to kickstart the rotation. Mm-hmm. So as you shoot through the launch, you begin spinning. Yeah. Which is very cool. Yeah. You know, to be able to, just to start spinning on the launch is awesome. Yeah. Can you remember anything about the ride? What were the highlights? Literally can't remember anything.
There's a big hill at the start, right?
There's a big hill at the start. Yeah. You go up and then you kind of like
remember that.
Bank outwards and turn left, yeah.
Horrifying. Remember coming down the top of that.
Yes.
Not good. It's all a blur, to be honest with you. Literally. Just... But how can you know where you are? Unless you know the layout, how do you know? Because don't. It's chaos.
Yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah. I just can't remember. I can't remember anything. Yeah.
I didn't really know the layout before, but then if you ride it enough times, you start to learn the layout.
Yeah, funny that. If you ride it 20 times.
What else is it? So, yeah, that top hat is very cool. I'd say highlight elements for me.
The top hat?
Specifically, either entering the top hat in the very front of the train, because you get completely thrown up, or the better is to exit the top hat in the back. Going backwards.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember.
Stop.
We had one ride specifically, I think, where it was perfect, where we were perfectly backwards, and we were basically ripped over.
I think that might be what did it for me.
Yeah, and it was bad. It was a lot. So that's really cool. And then because they have two launches. Mm-hmm. The second one is over an airtime hill, right? It kind of drops down, goes over a hill, and then into this weird element. That's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And then the ending I find to be a incredible sequence.
Okay.
Where you go over like essentially like 2 airtime hills and then one final one into the brake run. And again, if you're facing backwards in the back row, chaos. You're just utterly ripped from your, it tries to rip you from your seat. I can't really do it justice, like explaining.
No, it's just not worth trying to explain, like, the insanity. Like, my memories of it is like, do you know, sometimes on a ride, you almost come out of your body and you're like, what is happening? And you can almost see yourself on the ride and you're thinking, what? And that's what I remember, is that feeling of like, no. And I don't know if it was like, I want to get off, or like, this is too, I don't know what the feeling is, but it was like a lot.
Yeah, no, it is. I feel like there's no respite, it's just constant bam, 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 bam. There's no, because it's spinning all of the time.
Yeah.
There's no real break, you're just constantly moving, constantly rotating, constantly doing something. So even in the parts that maybe wouldn't be as intense on a normal roller coaster,
you spin and then it makes sense.
Exactly, you're still spinning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, you just don't have time to really think about anything, do you?
And for me, I think, I mean, I'm sure everyone who's listening knows this ride is not made for me.
It's not made for you at all.
At all. But like, while I was on it, I just appreciated it so much, and I was almost just in awe of like, okay, like, I get why everybody loves this ride. And I was like, 100% appreciate what's going on, but also I would like to exit, please. Get me off.
Yeah. No,
I don't think I wanted to get off, but it's not re-rideable for me. No, in the same way that it would be for you.
But even for me, it's not.
It's
because it's draining.
Yeah.
Because it's so intense and so chaotic, it physically drains you to ride it.
I bet in years to come they're going to do like some kind of research on like how G-forces affect the body, and it's going to be like, oh, this group of people who rode this one ride in Polpsaland De Panne are at higher risk of like early death or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that level of like,
There's only a few rides I've been on that gives me that physical drain.
Yeah.
The only other one I can recall is Carnon.
Yeah.
And I rode that 8 times and I felt very tired after. And lo and behold, I rode Ride to Hapiness 8 times as well.
Or 9?
Or 9.
About that.
It might have been 9.
Check the vlog.
Yeah, that isn't out yet.
Yeah.
I think it was 9.
Yeah.
Because you rode it 3.
I rode it 3 times.
I rode it.
You went on once.
I rode it an additional time with my French enthusiast friends.
Yeah.
And then I think I rode it. Oh no, did I ride it 4 times? So 8.
So 8, yeah.
Yes, 8. And it was the same there. Like, I was drained after it. I walked into a chair after my 4 rides, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I was just completely out of it. But you have to explain
what happened.
I shall, but I just want to say that it is crazy.
Yeah.
It's very cool, and Zoe says it's not for her, and it's true. If you don't like rides that are
absolute chaos,
well, a lot of enthusiasts just like airtime. This ride has airtime. I think this ride has the strongest airtime I've ever felt.
Yeah, but it's almost disguised.
Well, this is it, because it's wrapped up in so much other.
You can't enjoy it because you're like, ugh,
no, but I don't want to enjoy just the airtime. I want to enjoy everything.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy, being forced into my seat. I want to enjoy spinning around. I want to enjoy being ripped from my seat with the airtime. I want to enjoy being launched forwards.
Yeah. If you want pure airtime, you're not getting that. No, it's diluted airtime. Not diluted. What's the word?
It's not consistent.
It's like everything's jumbled up. Imagine you get all the elements and you put them in a jar and you just like shake it around. Yeah, it's that kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's not pure airtime and that's it. Yeah, but so if you don't like loads of intense positive G or a ride that is draining or chaotic, then it's not for you. But that's everything I like in a ride. Exactly. I want my ride to have not just one type of force, but all of them. I want my ride to be chaotic and feel like it's trying to kill you almost. That is the pinnacle of roller coasters for me.
Good vibes.
So I absolutely adored it. I think we rode it. I don't know how much better it got either throughout the day. I don't think it really got that much better.
Yeah. But every time's different, so how would you
Exactly,
know?
every time is different. Literally, all of my 8 rides, I couldn't say were identical.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat in the same seat sometimes, and yeah, still very different.
Yeah.
Isn't
that annoying, though, that you can't ride it the same twice?
Not...
If you rode it once and you thought that was the best version ever, you cannot do it again.
I know, and that's... I have to admit,
Isn't that annoying?
after we had that one ride where I think we had both of my favourite sections, backwards over the top hat and backwards into the brake run.
Yeah.
And I craved for that again.
You almost want to press a button that's like, I would like this preset, please.
And I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I never got that perfect, not perfect, but that combination again. But I got better combinations of other elements.
Okay.
Like going through there's a 0G roll, going through that completely sideways.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
See, then that almost becomes like an addiction of like...
Exactly.
You want to get it. You want to get the right one.
It's a gamble.
Oh,
You don't know how it's going to be.
This is so psychological.
Yes.
You know?
Which just made me want to ride it more to try and get that again and see what it was going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we rode it 3 times and you called it a day after that. I met up with, just happened to be some French enthusiasts there that I knew. So we rode it together. And then after that, I wanted to get on it a few more times. But by this point, they were only running one train, sadly, and the queue was like half an hour long. So I had queued half an hour and we were set to go because we had to get the train back. We had to leave like half an hour early. So I had about an hour. I had about an hour, so I would have only been able to probably go on it once more.
Yeah.
So I got to the front of the line. I sat in my seat. I was ready to go. And then the operator, the man hitting the buttons, he came over to me and whispered "Coaster Bot."
So creepy.
And I didn't process it instantly, and then like 2 seconds later I realised what he had said to me, and then I think I thumbs up him. Like, yeah, cool. What do you say to that? Very
so funny.
Very strange.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, well, this is it. So I go around the ride, not really thinking too much of it, just being like, hell yeah, this is such a good roller coaster. We roll back into the station. He comes out of his op booth and then talks to me and goes, "Oh, hi, Coaster Bot." And then we have a conversation, and I ask him about if he likes the ride, and he says yes, and we're having a general conversation.
Yeah.
Then obviously everyone else is getting on the train.
Yeah.
So he obviously has to go back to work, and then he says to me, "Would you like to ride again?" So I say, "Yeah," thinking, I don't want to be a burden.
Yeah.
So he then points me to an empty seat. So there was just a seat, because there's no real single rider line. I was just by myself. There was obviously like a 3 or a 5.
Yeah.
Or even just one other person. So there was an empty seat. So I got on the empty seat, went round again. Then I got off. Then he came out of his op booth again, and we had another chat. And then he goes, "Oh, just wait there behind the exit gate, and I'll get you on again." So I waited there behind the exit gate.
There was another empty seat.
Well, and then the train after that one, there was another empty seat. So I got on that one.
Filling them gaps.
Went round for the 3rd time and had a great time. And then I got off, and he came out the op booth again, and I talked to him again, and he's like, "Okay, I think 3 is probably fair enough." And then at this point, the other ride operators, the people actually pressing the buttons on the train to put the restraints down, she signalled that there was a seat empty at the very front of the train.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, one more time. So I get on the front, I go around, I had a really good ride, and then he came out and I said thank you very much, and exchanged pleasantries. But yeah,
absolute shout out to that guy.
I need to find his name. Hold on. He messaged me on Instagram afterwards.
We also had a very lovely chap who worked on the log flume.
Yes.
Shout out to that guy as well. Also, the log flume is great. I don't know if we said that earlier.
We did. It's very cool.
It is cool.
I got 9 rides, apparently. That's what I said to...
Oh, you got 9? Maybe you went on your own.
So it was Sam.
Shout out to Sam. Incredible.
Absolute mad lad. And then the other guy on the log flume was called...
Michiel.
There you go.
What was that?
Thank you, Google Translate.
Thank you, Translate. You can't pronounce names.
Michael, but spelt in
an accent.
In a more interesting way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very lovely, and he was like, "Make sure you come on Log Flume and say hi to me." So we did, and Log Flume was very good.
Excellent.
Very cool. Very well themed.
Did it have 3 drops? At least 2.
At least 2. It might have had 3. I can't remember specifically. So yeah, we ended up getting a lot at Polpsaland, didn't we? And we had loads of time to spare and just kind of chill for a bit as well. It was very cool. But yeah, Ride to Happiness is a fantastic roller coaster. I was really annoyed that Anubis was closed, because that would have been my other, my second favourite of the park. And I really was interested to ride it, because I've not been on anything like that specifically, but I've been on another small scale Girth launch coaster, and the punch you get on the launch is insane. And I've heard very good things about Anubis in the same way. But I'm sure we'll be back, because now Ride to Happiness is my second favourite roller coaster.
Way. Woo!
It's very good. I think I'm trying to think of all the roller coasters in Europe, but of the ones that I've done, it's not too many. I think that Ride to Happiness is a real strong case for being named the best pure roller coaster in Europe. If you get rid of all theming and all storylines and all build up and just look at the roller coaster, I think Ride to Happiness is
Do you mean
arguably
objectively?
The best. Yeah, objectively.
I don't agree with that.
Why? What's better?
It's too much.
Yeah, but
it's a 15 out of 10.
Exactly.
The perfect roller coaster would be a 10 out of 10.
Well, no. The perfect roller coaster, I mean, the best roller coaster in terms of how insane you can get it to be. Not for the average person.
The best insane roller coaster.
Not the best for the average person. The best specifically for people who
enthusiasts.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I guess.
And in that case, it becomes the best roller coaster I've ridden, but I prefer the package
of Kanon,
because it's a package, because of the build up, because of the theme, because of the story, because of the music and all of that. Which Ride to Happiness has a bit of all that, but just doesn't have the same everything. It's not the same vibe.
It's not the same effect.
If you added that vibe to Ride to Happiness, I'm sure Ride to Happiness would be easily my number one. So regardless, it's a very good roller coaster, and as soon as we left the park, I already wanted to go back and ride it again. As you said, it's like crack cocaine.
It is.
Literally.
They've created a beast with that, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit the park, does it? It's such a step up from everything else there. And
do you think they knew that? It doesn't make sense.
Well, they could make it more tame if they wanted to. The trains are capable of, being dampened.
So are they just playing to the enthusiasts now?
I guess. I mean, when we went,
everyone was an enthusiast.
Literally, yeah. So maybe they've clocked onto the fact that people are
audience.
Yeah, a niche audience that are coming specifically for this ride.
Yeah.
So, as long as they're okay and they don't annoy everyone else, then it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't know.
It's like an anomaly.
Yeah. No, it is.
Situation.
Well, it is. It's this, relatively small, obscure theme park in Europe that just so happens to have arguably one of the best roller coasters in Europe.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Mental. You just couldn't build it if you wanted to sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's literally insane. I think the best thing about it actually is that Universal, their new theme park, Epic Universe, is apparently getting one.
Right.
Which is obviously well. I mean, I'm not going to complain if they're going to get a Mack Extreme spinning coaster, because they are very good. So
yeah,
the more of them around, the better for everyone. But there you go. Polpsaland De Panne. Very nice. I'm sure we will go back at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a strange... I don't think either of us really expected it to be as good generally as it was.
The whole park as a whole. Yeah, and now I'm just thinking I need to go and do my vote coasters list, because I don't know where I'm going to rank that.
Yeah, you need to update it. Put Untamed on it. Put all of the Efteling creds on there. Well, all of Flopsers, all of Efteling. What else is it? All of Wallaby Holland.
Yeah, I need to have a think.
Goliath, Lost Gravity, Joris, Baron, and then, Heidi the Ridey. And Ride to Happiness.
And #like me.
Straight to the bottom.
Yeah, literally.